Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our first ever Women's Day panel celebration. We've we've got some of the few outstanding women leaders that we have in our company with us. This is, when we celebrate Women's Day, it's a great time for all of us across the world and certainly within CMS to remind ourselves and take a pause to recognize the talent that we have in the company. Especially today, we are talking about women, and we really also to think about the role women play not just in the organization but also across the world in the communities. I have the honor of hosting and facilitating four women leaders. I'll introduce them very briefly shortly, then they will give their intros. They represent our wider women community at CMS from various backgrounds, industries, and we will talk about that in a moment. All the women we have, they are trailblazers, change makers, and advocates for change. With that, let me first introduce to you Mumtaz. Many of you know her very well. She is the ZM for our South and West zones in Cash View. Mumtaz, a quick intro from you for 30 seconds. Over to you, Mumtaz.
Hi everyone, good evening. Myself Mumtaz Junaidi. I'm basically from Bangalore. Come with 20 years plus experience in this supply chain management, and with CMS I'm there for the last 6 years, having a very fulfilled experience and enjoying my job here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mumtaz. We now go to Vinita, who's the Director of Sales in the Cash View. Vinita, over to you.
Hi. So I've been in Bombay all my life, worked in two industries, had the honor to work with CMS now for about little over 4 years. A mother to a 12-year-old child, and been married also for a while.
Okay, thank you. Ruchira, she's been with us for a fairly long time in the IT function, developing projects and solutions for our cash and MS business. Ruchira, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Sanjay. Hi, everyone. I'm Ruchira Thakre. I've joined CMS in 2017. So like Sanjay said, it's 6 years along, and it was a great journey, which I'm enjoying still. I started my career as a software developer at Reliance Retail. And then I had worked in US for Southern California Edison as a senior tech lead. And then I was back in India. Same Reliance company had offered me again. And then I joined CMS. And now I'm here since 6 years. So I'm enjoying my journey. And that's about me. And I would also like to wish all the women out there a happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Ruchira. Last but not the least, Subhadra. She brings a really very interesting background, 9 years in the army, and after that, she was, I think, our first customer account manager, and she's leading the customer account management process for our customers. Subhadra, over to you. You're on mute, Subhadra.
Sorry. Good evening, Sanjay. So I joined CMS in 2019 as an executive services account manager. So that was a time when this vertical was just introduced. So I joined as a single service account manager at that point of time. And today we have for the SBI account. And today we have 12 service account managers team. So it has grown 12 folds. And we have for different all the big accounts like POI, PNB, and ICICI. In addition to this, in CMS, I have seen a parallel growth also. So along with this account management growth, I am also taking care of the MS and the EJ and the ATS team. And I'm enjoying my role presently over here. So every day there's a new opportunity for me and something to learn. So it's a good experience with CMS so far. And thank you very much, Sanjay. And I would like to say Happy Women's Day to all the women's today in the CMS. Thank you.
Happy Women's Day for all the men and women both. So with that, I'm going to go into we have a very simple format. It's a Q&A format. And what we've tried to do is to give all of us an insight into not just the professional, but a little more than the professional lives and get inputs from each of us. I'm going to first start with you, Vinita. Can you share a significant milestone in your career that was particularly impactful or transformative for you? Go ahead.
Sure. So I think the day I decided to transition into CMS was a milestone. The reason I'd call it a milestone primarily is because I was in a career of 15 plus years in hospitality, and I had everything known. The entire industry was known. There was nothing different. So I decided to challenge myself and come into a new company. To kind of extrapolate the challenge, it became even further aggressive with COVID striking in. So with 2 months into my role, we had COVID. So there was enough change, and we added another diversity to the entire experience. But yeah, I mean, I think standing up and saying, standing up and agreeing to do something differently was why I would call that a milestone. And the journey has been splendid with the support of Anush and Rajiv, with the fact that they've always been there and said, you can try, you can fail, but don't give up.
Very interesting. So this is about taking up a new challenge, a bit of the unknown, taking some professional risk, and they seem to have done well. Moving on to Mumtaz, in your 6 odd years that you've been in CMS, how have you seen the women workforce shape up? What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's a great question, actually, Sanjay. It's been 6 years in CMS. I still remember the day when I stepped into CMS. I was the only female in the operations in this industry altogether, and I was the first, I think, to be the experimentative for diversity inclusion in CMS operations, especially. Okay, it took a lot of time to build that. It was a complete thought process change, the cultural change that need to be brought in CMS to accept women employees in operations. So it was a challenging time, and it took a lot of effort to bring in that cultural change, to create that environment or create that suitable office culture for more females to come into the system, especially in operations. But as said, it's been a great experience. And post 1 or 2 years of that effort, today I feel proud to say that we have close to, I was able to get in close to 90-95 female employees working in hardcore operations in Southwest Zone. Typically, these females work on the field, manage the major vaults. They go on the retail cash pickups and deliveries on the routes. Okay, so it feels proud having so many females working, and CMS has given that opportunity, has accepted that change in the culture, and today I see branch managers coming and asking for more and more female staff to manage operations. So that's a kind of change that has come in. So it's interesting, and now CMS is more looking at empowering the women leaders, the kind of thing. There's a shift in those thoughts also. It's good. It's a good feeling.
Good, very good. On a related subject, I'll move now to Subhadra. You've also worked not just here, but prior in your armed forces career about, you know, somebody who's worked in and performed very well in a male-dominated function or in a field. Um, what do you think sets women leaders apart?
Yes, Sanjay. So I started my career by joining an organization which has been male dominated from ages. And I joined in the initial years when the initial batches were being taken. And that was a time when it was the environment used to vibrate saying that, oh, these are taken on the trial basis. And based on their performance, the path will be laid for the coming generations. So I can tell you one thing today, I feel very proud of myself and all the women officers who joined and performed the duties, and still they are doing, because as it has been witnessed in this Republic Day parade also by the participation of the women's in that. And also we say in armed forces also now there is multiple combat roles which are open for the women, which were not there in the initial years, and they are performing well over there, whether it is a fighter pilot or multiple kind of combat roles. So I think we have succeeded in that and laying the path for the coming generations. And I would like to say for the young women that today they have got plethora of opportunities. There is no role where anybody will say that you are not supposed to perform this and this role is not meant for women. So you have got multiple opportunities. You can choose the role of your choice, whatever you feel interested. And also, I would like to say there is no role which knows that whether a male is playing the role or the female is playing the role. The work is has not having any gender bias. It only depends on how well or how good you perform the role. So I say embarrass the role, whatever you like, and do your best with dedication. So it's not the people who will speak, it's the work which you will do, the quality of the work and your dedication which will speak for you. So I must say, go and touch the sky with the glory. That's what is my point of view.
So on touching the sky, something related, it's a good point to do a bit of a gear shift here. I'll come to you, Ruchira. As part of growing, the one aspect which is always there is mentoring, sponsorship of oneself. How has the sponsorship, mentoring, support networks at CMS, have they played any role in your career? If there are, could you care to share about that, please?
Yeah, sure. In fact, I would say I am blessed to be supported. I mean, getting the support from everyone, from whether it was leadership team or the business heads or stakeholders whom I'm working with at Mahape, Belapur. So I get full support. And because of that support itself, you're able to work even better. So when you know that somebody is trusting you and your work, then definitely it becomes a great booster to build confidence and go to the next level. So,
Okay. So we've had one session. I will go into the next part. I'm going to start with you, Vinita, and try and get some inputs from you, which may be helpful for a lot of people who are in our audience. If you could share with us some one or two or three strategies that have helped you in managing your professional aspirations and those outside of work. What has worked? What kind of support has enabled you to be successful?
I think this is a very interesting and a very tricky question at the same time because when you look at trying to create a balance between personal and professional, though we say work-life balance, it never is a 50-50. There's always going to be something that's a priority for the moment, and there's always going to be that point or thing that needs to be addressed immediately. So it's timing and priority that I would say that actually needs to go hand in hand. And if I have to, pen down three things that would slate out what my strategies would be. One would be a very simple exercise of making a to-do list. As women, what happens is we're dealing with different things every day, and the maid decides to bunk today. So we started our day at a note where we're already bogged down with activities that need to be conducted. A to-do list just drives a very simple point home that what do you need to achieve in that day, and it allows all these small distractions because considering the amount of things that you do, the distractions are equally there. So if you have to deal with your child being unwell and some medication time and something else, it's important that you keep circling back to a to-do list which keeps you grounded on, right? That would be one. uh, I think discipline and time management would be another thing. When I'm saying that, I mean, when you're at home, don't try to do too much of office work. And when you're at work, try to stick to the office work so that you're not eating into each other's time, so that you're able to give quality time back home and you're able to give quality work when you're at work. This way, you're able to really balance it off at your best. And the third thing, be kind to yourself, set realistic targets. don't forget yourself in the entire process. I know you have a lot of things to do and a lot of roles to cater to, but eventually, if you don't exist and you're not happy, then the entire balance is going to be anyways off. So meditate, work out, do something that you enjoy every day, but think about yourself always.
Thank you. This is very insightful. For me, it was, I think, the point about being kind to yourself and taking care of yourself, that, and also work and non-work is not really a 50-50 balance. It's what's priority in that point in time. I think that was very interesting for me. Mumtaz, you've broken barriers in fields, as you've said, which have been traditionally male dominated. What strategies, what insights have worked for you to do these breakthroughs?
I think before getting into the strategies, I would wish to tell that, see, I always worked for a purpose. I always live for a purpose. Since I've been associated and volunteering in NGO who works for women empowerment and girl education, so in every work that I do, I always look for opportunities. How can I add value with my work and try develop more women in the system? How do I mentor and make more women strong in the system, which is a need of the society today? So I look continuously keep looking for those kind of opportunities, and the strategies that I normally apply is very simple, and it's actually worked for me in my career. Is like try to always build a strong support system for the female work staff, wherein we can have more females walking into the company for jobs and work in a very safe environment. Create a system where you create mentors for them constantly who can guide them, coach them, and help them develop in their roles wherever they have been assigned. And also create consistently, keep creating their career planning. So keep offering the career planning to the team so that they have that confidence, and that somebody is there to handhold them, guide them, mentor them. So they keep working on their further growth also. I think these are the simple strategies which actually help me to bring in more females into system, and they are working, they're enjoying their work. Yeah. And
I like
always
this.
be a role model and walk the talk. Yeah, I think that helps.
What you call simple, I think they're very useful for me. Purpose, career opportunities, and a support system. I think that really stood out for me. Moving on, Subhadra, uh, as you've operated and succeeded in different environments, army, work outside civilian life in CMS, what are the few things that have really influenced your leadership style?
So Sanjay, Army has definitely impacted my leadership style, and I have been applying it throughout my corporate journey also. So a few of them are like, one of them is in Army, it is always taught to lead from the front, and I believe in it. And I believe that when you lead from front, you know the situation better, you know your team's capability better, and hence you can execute the planning and the work in a better way. Also in army it is said that one view of the battlefield will give you more insight for taking a correct decision than taking input from number of people and number of feedbacks. So I always opt for leading from front. Then also I like to something before giving a task to somebody, or before people coming back to me how it is, I always like to set a personal example. So whatever tasks are considered to be tough or to be done as a first time thing, I always try to set it a personal example for that. And this helps me in building trust among my team. And I also believe that that increases their capability to perform many times better. So these are the two important ones which I still follow in all my corporate roles. And in different roles, basically, I feel that that is one of the reasons where I'm able to grasp the role and move ahead.
Interesting. Leading from the front, getting an on-ground view, creating a trust, environment of trust. Excellent. Ruchira, I'm going to put you on a spot talking about stereotypes and biases. You've been a young woman leader, and there are biases both of age, of gender, biases, stereotypes. What have you done and worked to address these stereotypes?
Yeah, so this is a good question. Um, well, I think it is the stage which anyone will face at any stage in life, and it is. I mean, anyone has to believe that they have to be calm and face all these scenarios, situations that comes in front of you. The best way to handle such situation is focus on your work, because like Subhadra said, work speaks for you. And if work speaks for you, but then you have to decide that the work has to be measurable and result oriented work. Only when you're giving a result oriented outcomes, then the work will be noticed uh, or appreciated. At the same time, we have to work on ourselves to have that conviction. Sometimes I think women fail to bring that conviction in whatever they're saying. So we have to work on that. And when once we our work as well as our way of working, how we present our work, if that is connected and proper, then automatically you gain the trust. So even the biases or all the mindset can also change. So that is what I feel.
So you've talked about, not in this order, but you talked about working and convincing oneself, looking for outcomes that really display the results of the work that has happened, and then being able to communicate and present like these are the outcomes that
Correct.
you've like. Okay, great. Shifting to, I'm going to go. This is a common question which I'm going to ask all of you and go one by one. Um, what is the one piece of advice or learning which you found most valuable that you'd like to share with the audience today in the context of emerging women leaders? So let me start with you, Vinita, then we'll go to Mumtaz and so on.
Um, I think the basic thing I would say is believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself, you're halfway there. Uh, y- y- you want someone else to believe that you've done your job correctly. If you don't, if you cannot justify it yourself, or if you're not able to carry that confidence, it's not going to take you anywhere. So I think that's one thing that you have to go with, that you can do it. You just have to have the faith.
Okay, great. Mumtaz?
I would advise all the women over here by saying that women are born to be leaders. So, as Vinita said, believe in yourself, dare to come out of your comfort zone, take risks, and explore your strengths.
Okay, I like that. Ruchira?
So I have two things to say. So one is every problem has a solution. So never give up. So you have to keep trying. Just think that you have not found the solution right as yet, but keep trying. That is the first thing. And second thing, it's very important with whom you're surrounded with. So if these are negative people, you should stay away from them. And at least there's a funny thing, but the chant, it says Om Ignoraye Nama. I recently heard it. You have to ignore such people. You may find
Okay,
them in personal life as well as in office workplace as well. But that's the best mantra.
okay. Subhadra?
Yes, so I'll say when you are growing and you are transitioning towards a leadership role, you are bound to face criticism and adverse situations. People will be judgmental towards you, and this is going to impact you emotionally. But you don't have to take it as a negative and get bogged down under it and go towards a negative thing. But this can work as a very good feedback system for you. So whatever criticism you are facing, you should take it as a feedback. And I also not say that you directly apply whatever criticism is coming up, because this whatever feedback you will get through that will be consisting of some truth, some bias. So it will be a mixture of everything. So you have to wisely look at it, what applies to you, and then whichever thing you feel that is a positive for you and you need to improve, apply that on you and move ahead. And also, I would like to say one more thing, that one is women has got a beautiful power of multitasking by birth itself. So I feel that is one which has always been in our favor, and we should utilize it in our daily, whether it's a household job or it's a professional work at workplace. So these are the two things which I would like everybody to apply.
Thank you. I'm going to take a minute and summarize some points which really stood out for me. I think carry the confidence, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Have the faith, you can do it. I think that was good. Uh, Born to be leaders, get out of your comfort zone and take risks. Never give up and persist. Ignore the negativity. And I think what you talked about, Subhadra, multitasking is a superpower nature has given women. And how do you manage criticism to look at it objectively and not take it emotionally, which bogs us down? So with that, I'm going to go to the last part of our session, which is, let's think of it as a as a kind of a rapid fire question. Subhadra, I'm going to start with you. One behavior women should change at work to get that seat at the table.
So I think so, taking opportunity of being a woman and multiple asking different type of excuses from the work.
Okay.
So that should not be taken as a benefit.
Okay. No excuses because you are a woman. Mumtaz, one behavior men should change. Okay, this is about men to deal with the biases and remove the barriers that hold women back.
Not to be judgmental that the women can't do a particular role or anything. Give them a chance and then decide.
Don't judge women, give them a chance. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, Vinita, if you could have one superpower, what would that be?
Continue to be a woman.
Oh, unexpected but outstanding answer. Ruchira, this is the last one.
Yes.
What is the one thing you tell the 20-year-old Ruchira? If you could go back in time and tell the 20-year-old Ruchira something, what would that be?
It will be build your confidence level, because that time I was not at all confident. It was over pampered child, maybe.
Okay. So this has been great. I want to thank all of you. A lot of people who worked in the background, Smita, Gopal, and a whole lot of others. I know Pankaj, you have a question. I want to come to you for that. And also, I want to thank everyone because we have been on time. One of my worries as the kind of the facilitator was will we overshoot on the time. So thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. Pankaj has a question. He raised his hand. Pankaj, over to you.
No, Sanjay, I didn't have a question. I wanted to applaud our participants here, but since you've given me the stage, I would say we should have more such dialogues. We should
I
have more
agree.
such engagements because it just helps the viewer see the participant in a different light altogether.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed these 30 minutes. Hats off to the team for pulling it off, and thank you all of you for being so participative and giving your time.
I think there is a question from somebody. I can't see the name, but is there a question from someone? We can take, we have about 3-4 minutes. We can take a question, or you can type the question if the chat allows, and we will have the answers given. Nope. So,
Disable background talking. I don't answer the question.
oh, So
Take your chair.
yes, please. So we've got Rajiv who just walked in.
For some reason, Rawat has disabled me from speaking on the chat, so I thought let me just try and use it here. So first of all, thank you all for sharing what you did. I do disagree, Subhadra, with, I don't think anybody is born with multitasking. I think all of our mothers have taught the women here multitasking. So let's give the credit to the mothers and not to the fathers or to God. But, I have a question for all of you. Two questions for, I mean, I'm only picking four of you, but I'm happy to have answers from anybody else, just for my learning. The first is when you think of CMS and your time here, and you compare it to every other job you've done, what do you feel really great about? What are the one thing you feel very good about? And the second is compare it to the next best or best role you've done or experience you've had. What are the one thing you wish we had here? And Mumtaz, I mean, I'm surprised you have only 90 people. I'm very shocked. That is, you haven't crossed 100. That's disappointing.
You'll see more, Rajiv, in the coming days.
No, I'm very proud. I'm very proud. I'm very proud to hear that number. Please do well. I hope you can influence your other RMs to learn and do it, or Sanjay should force you to get them to do it. I was very happy to hear that. Sorry, I'd love to hear answers to the other two questions now.
So who wants to go first? Vinita, we've been starting with you. I'm going to put you in the spot again. Go ahead, please.
I can continue to go first.
Yeah.
I think both my answers, Rajiv, will be structure. So the lack of structure has helped settle in. It took a long time for me to really find, I came from a very, very well structured organization. And initially I had to really struggle to figure what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? What is the way around it? Not having structured, available information. So that definitely helped in finding your way around, and that journey today makes me proud because I was able to survive through it and I was able to get through it. And the other way that I wish there was a little more structure so that it wasn't so difficult, but I could get through it a little easier. So both the sides, I would still say structure. So be a little unstructured, but not so much that it becomes so difficult. That's what I would say.
Thank you. Who wants to go next?
Can I go next?
Please go, Ruchira.
Yeah. So actually, my views are a little bit different. So when I joined in 2017, so when things were unstructured, you're free to take your own call and do your work in your own ways. So you have no barrier or restrictions that you have to follow the same set of process. You build, you have an open plate. You serve as you like. So that is the best thing which I liked. And change, I don't think the way we are doing it, which I think we are growing it very nicely. And
Okay. Mumtaz, Subhadra, who wants to go next? Mumtaz, go ahead.
So for me, in the last 6 years, the best thing that I've experienced is this team opportunities to keep learning in this system. Like every day there is a new challenge coming in. Every day you're learning something new. So I'm enjoying that journey of CMS. And there's a lot of growth opportunities, subject to you're open to take more responsibilities. And that is something that always I'm being very passionate about that, and that is helping me grow in system day by day. So that's a lot of learning journey that I'm having.
Subhadra?
So I'll say, I think I joined 4 years back, and I joined as the first executive service account manager. And this vertical was not existing, and the role started after my joining the organization. So initially when I joined, with the HR and all, I had a chat, what is my roles and responsibilities. So she said, you have to create your own roles and responsibilities. So initially I felt that, what is this I have to do? And I'm not understanding. I was out of the industry. So I was coming from a telecom background. So, but I think it has been very helpful for me in developing myself and at the same time developing the roles and responsibility of this role for the company. I had like Ruchira said, I had an open plate to serve in it. So, and I enjoyed all these 4 years by adopting the roles. And then the best thing is whatever role I've been doing over here, if I need some support from management or there is a requirement, I feel there's a need of a process change, we get a support from the management over here, and we have been able to do. So that has been the best part over here. I understand what Vinita mentioned coming from an organized organization, because my previous two organizations were also very organized and very old organization, Ericsson and Army both. But here I had a different experience and I enjoyed this experience also, because every day I'm learning, every day I'm trying to resolve a problem, and company and the leadership is accepting that whatever we are trying to do for the improvement. So that is what is from my submission.
Going back, Rajiv, to your question of that part, what is the one thing that we should change or we can do better? What would that be?
So from my side, we should work more on making process rigid, which will help us in performing more better way. So now we have covered the journey. I mean, where we have experienced what are good, what are bad, how we should do, how we should not do, what basically what we should do and what we should not do. So I think this is the right time when we should start making process rigid and followed by the people.
Ruchira, one thing that we should get better at, one thing that we should improve.
So improvement is basically for me, I was saying there is no change required, because the change, that the way we are going ahead and improving ourselves, that itself is going in a right way, is what I feel. And most of the changes which I can relate to is an improvement at our end, which tech team has to work on for automations, for things. So it's like saying things and getting back to tech team itself.
Okay. Mumtaz?
For me, if you ask, I think it's with the kind of services that CMS is giving, or the kind of leadership and the team that we have in this company, I think it's high time we don't go to the clients with one-sided SLAs. Today, we are more on the client side SLAs. I think we have to go put our foot front and say this is what we can do, and this is the value of our services, kind of.
Okay. Vinita?
I answered it, Sanjay. I feel, and I take it on from both what Subhadra and Ruchira said. Yes, lack of structure has really helped in our growth, but I think a little bit of process, a little bit of guideline, a little bit of next steps could kind of help us get through the next phase of our journey.
Okay. I think we have one more question.
No, I think thank you so much. I wish I could get feedback from others, but I do hope that I said this long ago, and I've said this story to some of you before. At the SMPC office, I don't know which year, maybe 2017, 18. Most likely Sheen, or maybe it's Alex time, said, we need your time today to do a Women's Day. And I'm like, what the hell do you mean a Women's Day? Why do we care only about doing a special Women's Day? It's not right. And I said, where are the women? I don't know where. And they said, oh, on this floor still we got 30 women. I said, I've never sort of, and therefore for me, I'm sort of agnostic to that. I understand it's a sensitive topic. I know we're doing a little bit of effort around it, but we are not consciously trying to do things. All I hope and pray for is that any female team member and colleague feels respected and safe in the company. And I know many of you at a larger office will. I hope at the smaller offices they do feel respected and safe. That's the only thing I really sort of do care about. I would love to see more people, more balance in the number of team members, simply because of the value it brings to the company, not because of any other goals. So Thank you for being with us and working with us so long in a dedicated manner, you and other colleagues who are on the call. I thought of whether I understand what you're saying about process orientation. Personally, I'm against it. Personally, not professional. I don't think we are that company. We're very good operational process, and I think in MS we need to get better. I think that in cash, I think we are fairly rigid and very strong. But at the company, you know what? If I go to Vinita, I emote with what she's gone through in her journey here. But I also look back and say I think it's helped her emerge as a very different individual, manager, leader, and could it have been better? Could have been more easier? Yes, for sure. We should. And to your point, Mumtaz, about I don't think we should go to clients and change SLA norms. I think they're damn tough. They're very one-sided. I hate it. But if we can survive them and do well, others will die doing it. And that's the only thing I care about. So otherwise, I'm totally with you. From day one, I'm like, why are we doing 2-hour TATs? Why are we working 24/7? Why are we working weekends? Kya fee mein kaam karenge? Kaise log? But in a competitive market like this, where everybody wants to do better or emulate our growth, I think it's good to be able to set your standards that high and still manage, because I think it makes us a better version of ourselves instead of saying it's not right or fair, because there's nothing called right or fair. It is what the market is willing to give you, and you fight that battle at a different time, and it's more logical rather than right now. I don't think it really makes sense right now to do it. No, thank you so much. Please continue. Rawat, I don't know, you made the point that we should do this more often. I have no idea what you meant by it, but hopefully you'll do something interesting in whichever format before next year.
Yes, we will, Rajiv.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Rajiv.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you, Sanjay.
thank you for taking
Pankaj.
your time, taking your inputs, and we'll try to do more of this going forward. So thank you, everyone. With that,
Thanks, everyone.
bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank
everyone.
you. Happy
Thanks.
Women's
Bye.
Day.
Happy
Thanks,
Women's Day to
everyone.
everyone, all men and women both. Bye-bye.